It's been more than 2 years since the Douglas fire chief has asked lawmakers to pass a bill requiring carbon monoxide detectors in all Massachusetts schools. Right now, schools are still not required to have them, and the chief says he will keep fighting until they are. Our Roslyn Flaherty spoke with the chief and has more. Roslyn?
Brittany, the chief says this time of year is more important than ever to have these detectors installed in schools because heating units are being turned back on. And with an incident happening back in 2014, the chief wants this process to move along more quickly.
This is a call to action to protect our children.
Douglas Fire Chief Kent Vinson wants to make sure carbon monoxide detectors are required in schools across Massachusetts. Vinson has worked for 2.5 years to try to get a new law passed.
And I think it's time that we put our children as a priority and make sure that when they go to a school, they're protected.
Chief Vinson cites an incident at the Douglas Municipal Center back in 2014. 16 children and 2 adults were taken to the hospital due to carbon monoxide poisoning. The building didn't have detectors.
You send them to school and you think that they're safe.
Pamela Morissette's son Ryan was in kindergarten at the time. Ryan was one of the students treated for carbon monoxide poisoning.
Panic really set in with all of us, as parents, because you don't know, what's going on.
Morissette says she can't believe the detectors are not required in schools.
It's a life safety measure. I feel as though it's right up there with your sprinkler systems or your smoke detectors.
After the 2014 incident, Douglas schools put new detectors in all 4 of their buildings. It cost about $40,000. Douglas Public Schools Superintendent Norman Evon says cost is a factor, but it's a small price to pay to keep students and staff safe.
It's not cheap to hardwire the carbon monoxide detectors into a building, but well worth the expense for the lives that it could save.
Meantime, Chief Vinson has testified for the law on Beacon Hill and says he will keep pushing until it passes.
You can't smell carbon monoxide. It's odorless. It's tasteless. You can't see it, so it'll kill you.
State Representative Joseph McKenna, who represents Douglas, says the biggest issue is how to pay for these detectors. He says one estimate could cost up to $10 million and says he and other lawmakers are supportive of the bill and will keep working on it. Brittany?
Thank you, Roslyn.